So with the U-20 match being over and done with, I thought that it would be a fun idea to go over and talk about the most exciting things from that game, which were undoubtedly the goals. Now, as we know, there were 7 goals in total, with the Blue Lock 11 making 4 of them. However, which goal was the most disappointing? And more importantly, which goal was the most hype and exciting? That's exactly what I will try and break down in this video. So how will I rank these goals, and what will I look at when ranking them? Well, I've decided to take into account how hyped the goal was and how excited I was when watching it, how good the animation was, as that's obviously of major importance. And then, of course, my personal preference, and which goal I personally enjoyed the most. Now, my ranking might differ from yours, so if that's the case, then please leave your ranking down in the comments. Anyway, with that out of the way, be sure to like the video, comment, and join the Discord server down in the description. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. So the first goal on my list is a bit hard for me to say, as he's one of my personal favorites, but his goal just wasn't that cool, and it's none other than the older brother of Itoshi Rin, Itoshi Sae. Now, Sae was the first to score in the game, which gives him some aura points in my book. However, the goal, in my opinion, was just pretty mediocre. It was dope when his aura came out, when he was rushing towards the ball that Gagamaru had just blocked. And then, when we got the close-up of him pushing the ball forward, and I know that it was like just for 2 seconds, but it looked dope. But then we just get straight into him shooting the ball, which casually fell into the goal without looking too special. However, to give it some cred, I thought that the background music was extremely dope, and added a lot to the vibe and the atmosphere of the moment. Also, as I said before, it was the first goal of the game and really set the tone of the game that was about to happen. And I feel like it was the perfect decision to give it to Sae, as he had been hyped up this entire arc and even the arcs before this. So for him to come in and basically score in the first minutes of the game was pretty cool. Alright, so moving on, we get to Rin Itoshi's goal, which honestly, I feel awful for putting on the 6th spot because it was honestly pretty insane. We started the goal of with Aiku and Rin having a face-off in front of the goal, and both of their auras was out to an extreme level. But then, out of nowhere, Isagi came and was gonna trick Aiku and act as bait. However, the captain of the U-20 team didn't fall for it, as he knew what they had planned, and instead followed Rin, who cut into the left side. Now Aiku knew that Rin was right-footed, which is why he cut off Rin's path to shoot with his right foot, and only leaving him to shoot with his left. Aiku said that Rin wasn't ready, but then the atmosphere changed, and it went quiet, as Rin saw something in his eyes. His eyes had started to create a scoring path for Rin, which he could see as clearly as the day, and as he had the perfect opportunity, he somehow sent away the shot with his right foot from a left foot angle, or in simpler terms, he just hit it with the outside of his right foot and curved it. It was also pretty cool when we could see the ball slowly and intensely going closer and closer towards the goal before it hit the back of the net. And after this goal, Aiku finally realized that he had thought wrong about Blue Lock, and that they really were a force to be reckoned with. Anyway, moving on, we have a character, which I know is a lot of people's favorites, but someone who I have never been particularly interested in. And it's none other than the demon of Blue Lock Shidou. Now, even if I doesn't like him, I can't deny that the goal was super awesome. It starts off with everyone thinking that Shidou will take the free kick only for him to run past it, leaving everyone stunned and speechless and leaving Sae to take it. But someone was quick on this, and it was of course the goat Chigiri who saw this coming and started running to stop Shidou. And then when Chigiri jumped and thought that he was going to be able to kick away the ball, only for the ball to be an inch away, was so cold and really proved Sae as the madman that he is. But then, instead Shidou then jumped up to reach it, and when his pink wings came out and he started looking like a demon, it was so cold. And then the sound of his foot coming in contact with the ball and him screaming Dragon Drive, it gave me literal chills. The only sad thing about this goal was that we didn't really see the goal going into the goal and entering as Shidou shot it, and in the next shot it was already in the back of the net, but it was still a crazy performance. And something which made it so much more exciting was when we got to the crowd and the commentators who was screaming out of excitement, as it really made this moment come more to life. Now, what Shidou said after the goal is another topic which I think that we should save for another time. After Shidou's amazing Dragon Drive, we get to the genius of Blue Lock, or some would call him the slacker, as it's of course Seishiro Nagi, who's coming in at a 4th place. Now this goal was so incredibly dope on so many levels, so let's get right into it. The ball is just about to reach Nagi, but that's when Hayate and another guy I forgot the name of, not like he did anything. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, they were going to stop Nagi, but he knew it. And when he got the ball, instead of going to shoot it right away, he instead killed it and then made a lift trap with it, which then went into a crazy jumping turn, followed up by an absolutely crazy shot into the goal. And we can't forget his insane introduction, as when he shot the ball, he said, "Nice to meet you, Japan. I'm Nagi Seishiro," which is just such an aura thing to do. However, everyone was just quiet after the goal, so Nagi thought that he might have messed it up. but it was just them who were too stunned to speak. As just some moments later, everyone in the crowd, and even the office worker watching, broke out in excitement over the goal, as this was the craziest thing they had ever seen. Also, this animation, it was like we were one with the ball, and kind of followed it into the goal, was extremely cool, and something which I definitely liked. Now it's getting serious, as we are at the number 3 spot, and the goal to get the bronze medal will be none other than the Joker's goal, who's of course Barou. It starts off with Isagi, who was stuck with Sae, but he saw Rin on the side and passed to him, thinking that they would make an easy goal. But just then, Aiku appeared behind Rin, and told him that he was too naive. The atmosphere was intense as we were desperately waiting to see whether Rin or Aiku would be the first one to reach the ball. But in the end, it was neither of them, as it was instead Barou who came out of nowhere with 2 defenders on top of him, trying to drag him down, which obviously was to no use. Anyway, Barou's entrance shocks everyone, but he just comes to the ball, declaring that he will feast on Isagi's light, and then he makes one of the most mind-blowing goals in the match, as a literal red lion comes behind him, and it's like he's fully consumed by it, as he kicks the ball right into the net. And let me just say that the roar sound in the background as he was shooting the ball was such a great and amazing addition to the already spectacular goal, as it really made the vibe come more to life. And we can't forget about him celebrating by jumping up into the sky with his shirt off, which just looks so cool. Now we have 2 goals left in this match, and it's Shidou's second bicycle kick and of course Isagi's luck goal in the end. Now for me, the goal to take silver medal off those 2 will be Shidou's bicycle kick. So let's go over it. Gagamaru has just cleared away the ball, but that's when Shidou starts to feel some sort of weird sensation. And as he explains it, his football cells are starting to tingling and stirring to spark, as he's in the air and is preparing to shoot the ball. We see Ego quickly, and he looks seriously, as he coldly states that Shidou has now entered flow. After that, we get back to Shidou, who we see is coming in contact with the ball, and that just looks so insanely smooth. But he kicks the ball, and then out of nowhere, a literal tornado starts to form around it. And then when we get this insane overview of the ball flying from Shidou towards the goal with his pink aura around it, to then it slamming down in the ground right in front of the goal, to then it spiking right up into the net was just wild. And it looked so flowing and smooth, which really made it look professional. And then of course him landing on the ground and then screaming his might out as he's just gotten the U-20 the lead. However, with that out of the way, we have one more goal left to talk about, and it's none other than the winning goal of the match, which is of course Isagi Yoichi's insane goal. So we start it with the face-off between Rin and Seiji, which is just crazy as a starter, like just the flow to their battle and the way that they moves in terms to each other is just sick. And then Rin kicks away the ball and it goes far up into the sky. Everyone goes quiet and Aiku tries to jump and reach it, but that's when it gets gray and we can hear some sort of sound like puzzle pieces. And there we see him, Isagi Yoichi, running alongside his puzzle pieces. Everyone is looking at him, and his eyes gets kinda demon-like before he smashes away the ball. And the sound when he shoots away the ball is honestly mind-blowing. It legit sounds like a real racing car as it goes just as fast. And then the way we pan the scene from Isagi to the ball over and over again, which brings it into a much more intense feeling. And then the ball just goes right into the net. And the ending when he puts his hands behind and we hear the word goal being screamed with a crazy enthusiasm brings real chills to me. Like the feeling I felt when watching this goal almost isn't possible to put into words, as it was just that amazing. However, this is just my ranking of the goals in the U-20 match, and I would love to hear your rankings. Also, if you have any topics on top 10 or a video idea you would like me to do, then please leave them down below. Anyway, if you like bluelock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel. And while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.